Jerry here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Laura here.
Well, this is part 2 of traveling, and we're going to give you some tips on visas, transportation, water, eating food here, hiring a maid. Also in part 1, you saw things about medical, doctors, medication, transportation, how to rent a house, what to look for in renting a house, utilities, how to pay utilities, maid service. 7. Okay, talk briefly here about visas. And if you come down, you get a 180-day visa crossing the border. Either you're driving or you're taking a bus across the border by land, or if you fly in, okay, you'll automatically get a 180-day visa. Now, don't do like this one gentleman here. He didn't realize that you have to have a visa. He took the paper they gave him and he threw it away. That's going to create a problem when you leave the country. And so hold on to that piece of paper, and you'll look at it, and it'll be a 180-day visa on that. Now remember, you have to leave the country. That's the basic one. Now we have some other videos, upcoming videos. We don't have them on now, but we're going to talk about the next 2 levels of visa, a temporal and a permanent, and what it costs you for that. So you have to stay tuned for that. We don't quite have it ready yet. 8. Okay, this was a complaint that a guy gave me down here. He said when he came across on the plane, they x-rayed his into immigration. They x-rayed his luggage and stuff like that. Okay, and then when they put it up on the table, they opened it, and that made him a little agitated that they would do that. But let me tell you the reason why they do that. They do not want you bringing in any new clothing, any new products like that. So they want to pay you. They want you to pay the tax on that. So don't do that. If you have any new clothes and stuff like that, take the tags off of them, and then you're not going to have them question you and talk about paying a tax on that. So 9. That's a 9 there. And what that is, we'll talk about transportation. Somebody just asked me this morning, how do you get around? Okay, what we do a lot, we walk. And that's a good way of losing weight. A lot of people lose a lot of weight down here because they're walking. The other thing is the bus. And the bus, take the bus anywhere from a block to maybe Chapala, but about 5 miles away, you're looking at about 35 cents. Now to take a taxi, I'm not quite sure on taxis, we don't take taxis, but with a taxi to go maybe a mile to 5 miles, it's going to cost you anywhere from $3 to $5 on that. The next thing you can do is you can have a rental car, and they do rent cars down here. I don't know the price on rental cars. That you'd have to investigate when you get down here. And you can do like us. We have a car, we drove down. And so those are the ways of getting around. And so let's go to number 10. 10. Okay, 10 is, what about the water here? Then we get that asked a lot. Okay, definitely we do not recommend drinking the water that comes out of the tap unless the house has a purification system in there, and then it's okay. Now, what we do is we buy bottled water, and for a 5-gallon bottle of water, it's like 35 cents. That'll last a few days. So that's what we do. The other thing is, when you're traveling, drink the bottled water. Bottled waters are very inexpensive here. They're like 10 cents. I don't remember exactly, but they're very cheap. And the other little tip we can give you, when you're brushing your teeth, don't use the tap water. Take a bottle of water, use it for that. What I do when I take a shower, it's not a little weird, but I actually take a little mouthwash, put it in my mouth, and when I'm taking a shower, then it forces me to keep my mouth closed. That way I don't get any water in my mouth here. So that's a tip anywhere you travel in the world, especially in a third world country. 11. What is 11? 11 is, hey, why not have a maid? Very reasonable down here. Treat yourself and to have a maid. Most people do. You figure about $4 an hour on the average for a maid down here. And they will typically work about 4 hours in your house. They can get it all cleaned up like that. And A lot of times what we do, we leave a little cookie out, a little coffee in the morning for the maid. And so if they're there 4 hours, they can bring their own lunch if that. But typically you don't need to do that for them. If they're longer than that, say you had them for 8 hours, in that particular case, you may want to leave them lunch there. And also, they typically will have their routine and they'll go around and clean it, and you can show them what you want to have done. So why not have a maid? 12. What is 12? The 12 is food. Now Lori goes every week and she buys all of our fresh vegetables at an outdoor market. She takes it home, she cleans it very well. She uses vinegars and this little drops that you can get. And so that way everything is taken care of there. Now, restaurants, you go into restaurants. Well, one of the things that people ask, what about the ice in a restaurant? Well, in Mexico, it's illegal for them to serve anything except purified ice. And so don't worry about the ice. Another tip is here or wherever you're traveling in the world, especially third world travel, you look at the turnover. How many people are going in that restaurant and eating? You want to go into ones where they're cooking that food, they're selling it, cooking new food and selling it. That could be on a little stand out in the street or in a restaurant. So that way you're not going to run into any trouble. Again, in there, ask for bottled water, and then most generally now, at least here in Mexico, in a tourist area or a resort area, they're going to serve you purified bottled water, or should I say, purified glass of water. Now don't forget part 1. If you haven't seen it, it's a must. Check it out. To introduce you to Troy and Kelly here, and they're from Texas.
Yes.
And Troy has been following Jerry Brown Travels for how long now?
Probably close to a year.
A year.
So I found Jerry on YouTube, and I was just really impressed with the quality of the information that he provides, and he does it in a fun way that makes you want to come back and wait for the next video to show up every week.
Oh, great. Thank you, Troy. That's really great. Bang! We'd like you to subscribe. Press on my picture somewhere over there.
Yeah, somewhere in there. You can press on his face. Boom! That's it. You subscribe.
Bang! And make a comment down below. Thanks very much. Jerry here.
Laurie here, and thank you so much for watching our video.
Thank you.